Lisa MacDonald, welcome to Nature of Reality Radio. I saw you at Great Campese's AWAKEN conference event at the Plymouth Meeting Mall. There's going to be another one this weekend. You said before the show that just now that you're not going to be attending that one because you got workshops and all, but probably run into you at some future event. If I saw you once, I'll probably see you again because I get around. So start off here. Tell me your life story from a primary source perspective, as I always tell my guests at the beginning of every show. Who are you? What did you experience? What have you seen and done that's caused you to do the things that you do now to awaken humanity? You got the floor. I will have myself on mute. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much for having me in this show here. So what really brought me up to do what I'm doing now is really my experience, my challenges, and I've went through a lot. Everybody has gone through a lot, but I have felt like I had a lot to speak about with my problems and struggles. And when I was a little girl, I had a hard time making friends because I struggled with discrimination, bullying, and having a learning disability. The discrimination comes from people making fun of me because I'm half Hispanic and I'm also half German. So a lot of people are assuming I'm just white, but I do speak another language. I do speak Spanish. I struggle on a lot of that. And then my learning disability, I have struggled on comprehending. I have struggled on reading, writing, doing math, all those things. And it takes me longer to comprehend and do something that maybe for other students it might be simple. And I got bullied a lot from just having that. And also I get bullied from girls who got jealous of me, don't know, and start fighting with me and hurting me. So all those things I've went through, I didn't have anybody but my art. My art was there for me, and my art has changed me a lot. If art wasn't here, I wouldn't exist. And I felt that art was a way for me to express myself, to have that voice, that I didn't feel like I had a voice. And from doing my art, it had made me realize that I need to speak about my story. I need to spread awareness about we as humans, should accept their imperfections, should appreciate one another's differences, because we're all not meant to look like something specifically in a category, or you have to look like this to be this. So that really, a whole short, brief information is really what got me here as an artist, as a motivational speaker, and as a business owner of Imperfection is Beautiful. So that's really everything about what I do.
Cool. And interesting you, but how your site is based on pointing out that imperfection is a good thing. It's something that everybody is going to have. I just watched Law of Attraction video yesterday, and one of the 3 rules of the Law of Attraction that the presenter mentioned was that you cannot reach perfection because there ain't no such thing. And you seem to glorify that on your site, judging by the title of it. So, well, what is perfection? To help people understand why it's impossible to get to it, why don't you, since you seem to glorify imperfection, perhaps you have a better understanding of what perfection would be, and maybe an understanding of why you can't attain it and why it's a good thing that you can't attain it. So why don't we expand on that for a bit?
Well, for me, what I see as perfection, I think it's something that's very toxic as human beings to try to lean towards. I do believe that perfection, there's never an ending thing. Perfection, there's always like, oh, I got to do more than this. I got to do this. I got to do that. And to be honest, for human beings, it's never going to be existing because we always going to have something that's imperfect. But that doesn't mean any less in ourselves. That's just mean that we're just That's how we are as human beings. And those who try to push and force that perfection, it's just, to me, they're like trying to force them to be like robots, you know? But even robots could be imperfect. Technology could be imperfect because, like you were just saying, that you had some difficulty with your computer, you have to restart it, you gotta, you know, sometimes it freezes and stuff like that. So to me, I feel like perfection is something that was made up, that's not existed. And imperfection, it's not spoken a lot about because I feel like the society or social media, everything, they bring up this something that's never existed just to harm people's mind and body. And they say, oh, I need to have that perfection and that perfect life. But really, we need to focus on that imperfection and understand that that's just what we are. We're human nature, and that's all about human, all about being human. And me accepting my imperfection, I am more confident than ever. I didn't need to put makeup on. I didn't need to cover up because I'm confident. No matter how I felt, no matter how I look, I'm still rocking it out. And I feel like that's what everybody should be doing. It's just rocking their own natural beauty and feeling good in their own skin. That's what perfection can be for them, you know, in their imperfect moments. When you break up the imperfect, it's I'm perfect. So we think about that. I think that would really just bring up everybody's confidence and just feel good in their own natural skin.
Yes, and looking at some of your artwork here, seems you want to try to glorify the idea of coexisting and everybody getting along and everyone being at peace with each other, judging by you got a circle of hands all around a ball of the earth and different religious and spiritual logos and all that. And it's like three, actually no, like four of them I see here. Four of them have hands all around that, and those are and you got all different flags of different countries and all. So yes, this is something that seems very pertinent in the world today, that we need to learn to coexist and all, especially with the dare I use the word conspiracy to destabilize countries through lots of illegal immigration, bringing people across borders unvetted to take people's jobs and destabilize countries. And but if we all can learn to coexist and all, then it wouldn't be so hard to get all the people of different races and creeds and cultures together to live well. And I remember Indigo Child Bautista Stefano mentioning that the year 2022, there was some sort of a harmonizing of Earth's grid energy in order to get everybody of all different races, colors, and creeds to be able to get along with each other better. Do you sense that that has actually happened on the Earth, and is going to lead to great things for humanity in the future, even though there has been a conspiracy to destabilize society?
It's hard to know exactly because we're so surrounded with so much hate and violence. Actually, in the Allentown area, I'm close by there, I've just seen a lot of gun violence and just racism and all that stuff. So I want to say yes, there is, you know, acceptance of different religion and race, and I'm sure there is. It's just hard to find because the news, the media doesn't bring that. And I feel like we need more of that awareness. And for me as an artist, I'm doing my everything to capture the different race, the different nationalities, and different people, to show them we can all work together and our natural talents and our own like tradition and combine together and make an amazing community. this may sound so fantasized, but I feel like this is something like what America is about, is bringing everybody together, different nationality, different religion, different, I don't know, different perspective, and having each other accept their differences. And I know it's been such a complex situation we are in, but it's just, there's a lot of waste of energy of just hating, hating, hating. It's like, why don't you just open your mind, listen, and just learn to, appreciate one another. And I think a lot of people nowadays are very closed-minded with so many things because of, we're so attracted to the media and everything that's going on in the world. And it makes us think a certain way. So I feel like sometimes we're trapped in a way of our own mindset, but there's people like me and you or other people who are open and spiritually open and accepting and understanding about others' differences could be very, willing to make a difference and change one another and help others to, open their mind and learn from different things.
Yeah, I believe the same. And I guess we'll move on to some of the workshop things that you offer. A whole slew of different workshops here, and I guess we can cover them bit by bit, one by one here, to see how each one works, the science of each one, and how it, the metaphysics of each one, and how it benefits people. Positive affirmation workshop. Now, this is something positive affirmation is something that I'm really into, and it seems like in my horoscopes, I often see positive affirmations on a day like today would work very good for you. I often see that often, and I have different lists of affirmations that I've downloaded from different sources. There seems to be some unwritten rules saying that it's better to say your affirmation 3 times, because that 3 is a great number of creativity. And if you say the affirmation 3 times rather than once or twice, you will have used some metaphysical enhancement there to make the affirmation become reality better. Do you think there is some truth to that? It's better to do it 3 times than once or twice because of the creativity associated with 3 factor. And well, actually, for that matter, is it sometimes better to do more than 3? Or is there like a limit to, well, if you're trying to overdo it by saying the affirmation too much, then that sends a message to the universe that you're obsessing about the affirmation so much that you're basically not going to achieve the affirmation because you're obsessing about it too much, if you get what I'm trying to say. So
Yes.
is there some rule to
Yes.
that too? So the thing about doing it 3 times, that's the magic number. But if you have to do an affirmation too much, then you can actually lose the power of the affirmation because that sends a bad message to the universe. What do you think about those things?
I would think it's, depending the person, how closely they want to be is that, or they want to have that in the mindset. But 3 times, I do believe it's really good to keep repeating. Also, I do believe that putting other affirmations like I am strong, I love myself, having it on your mirror, saying it a couple times day and night before you go to bed and when you wake up. And that's what I do. I practice that a lot of times. So maybe not just the same thing over again. I think, have some variety and maybe say it 2 times or 3 times, however you feel like it's going to sink into your mind, so you know that you will feel what you're saying to yourself. Because what you say out to the world or to yourself is what you're going to think. So it's kind of like, what is that quote that I like? Be the change you wish to see in the world, by Gandhi. I always follow that quote.
Yeah, I love that quote myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the also, as far as the length of the affirmations, does length really matter? I mean, when you're like the head of some sort of a congregation or something, and you say, everybody repeat after me. You don't want to say something that's so long that everybody's going to forget what to say, because then it sounds garbled and all that. But then again, even if it does sound garbled, one could make the argument that the universe knows what you mean, because Matt Kahn, one time he was, remember he was having to do that, having people at his congregation, he was saying an affirmation or something and everybody was repeating after him. And the one time he said something a little too long that people couldn't remember what they were supposed to say, so it sounded kind of garbled and silly. But Matt Kahn said, don't worry about it, the universe knows what you mean. Well, okay, well, is that really true? I mean, some people insist that you really want to articulate what you say, because the better you articulate it, then it will, the better that it will manifest. But then again, that if the universe knows what you mean, then that shouldn't be an issue. So what exactly do you have anything to say about the extent by which the universe knows what you mean, versus it's better to try to be, you say imperfection is good, but when it comes to affirmations and stuff, maybe you should try to perfect it a little bit, because if you don't perfect it, then that does maybe send a bad message to the universe. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do agree what you're saying, because what you want to send to the universe, you got to make sure you're clear, and that what you're saying is what you want, what you need in your life. So being specific, being clear. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out, well, what do I want to say? Like, how do I should say it and stuff like that. And I struggle on that sometimes, but the more practice you get, the more understanding of, okay, this is what I want to say. This is how I want it. So there are some imperfections in the process, but once you get through it, you get to that perfect message you want to send out to. And then once you send it out clearly enough, you will receive what you've been wanting. And I think being clear, specific is very important to, get that message to you.
Yeah, so being clear does make a little bit of a difference, or maybe a big difference. I don't know. We don't know how much a difference it makes. It may vary on the circumstances, but yes, thank you for pointing that out and clarifying it. Moving on to the next workshop on your list here, gratitude. Very important to show gratitude. The more gratitude you show, the more likely the universe is going to reward you. And maybe you can explain the science behind why that is the case. And also, is there like a good time to practice gratitude more so than others? Some say gratitude in the morning may be the best time to do it. Others, excuse me, at night is a better time to do it, to show gratitude. Or maybe some people say you want to do it at astrologically significant times. And my God, we sure got a lot of those in the very few upcoming days. Today is actually the spring equinox. 5:24 p.m. Eastern is when the equinox is, and some would say that's 5:24 p.m. today. That would probably be the best time to be reciting your affirmations, or showing gratitude in some way through affirmations or some other means. So what is the science behind how showing gratitude gets you rewarded better? And do you have anything to say about the best times to show gratitude, or does time not really matter because time's an illusion? What's your take on that?
Well, for me, I believe that practicing gratitude will really build your self-esteem, getting that appreciation in your life, and you see more wholesome in your life, that you see that you have all these amazing things in your life, and you're much happier. You have more joy in your life. And then for what time, days you want to practice on your gratitude, honestly, it's up to you. But for me, what I do is that I practice it at night, because with all my days, it could be good days, it could be bad days, it could be anything, I still say thank you. I still say thank you. Thank you for giving me the strength You know, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my friends, and all those things you're grateful for. I'm grateful for completing all my tasks, all my goals. You know, when you keep saying it to yourself and you're also bringing out there, you're gonna get rewarded later in life because you show that you're grateful and you're not taking life for granted. You know, when you're sick, when you're in pain, when you're struggling, and now that you're feeling better, you can now say so much of how much you're grateful for overcoming those struggles and how that you feel like a stronger, wiser person. And you're much happier because now you realize, like, man, life is so fragile. I need to live it up. Now that I'm better, now I'm healthier, now I'm great, I'm going to live up my life, you know? So, yes, I do believe that practicing gratitude is so essential in your life because it will help you have more joy in your life, feel confident in yourself, and you just feel like you have a lot to look up for in your life.
So you will get reward in the future. Now, is there a certain what's the word I can use? Protocol or way of determining how long one is going to have to wait for their gratitude to manifest into a reward? Being an Aries, I tend to be impatient, and I do try to work on that, but because I just want it now, and I want to do everything I can to make sure I get it now. But not a good, healthy attitude towards life, as the saying, patience is a virtue would insist. Sometimes you just can't stand how long things take, but everything is supposed to happen in divine timing in some way. So any advice to how people can surrender to the divine timing aspect and make sure that you can just suck it up and accept the fact that it's going to happen when it's going to happen, and you shouldn't be unhappy about the fact that it hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, I mean, well, funny that you said you're an Aries. I'm an Aries too. And I struggle on sometimes being patient. I like to do things right, like right now. I want the answers right there and then, but that's not really how life works. Patience is the key. And also I do believe that when you begin to have that self-awareness and getting that awareness in your outer world, you'll notice little sparks coming out. And when you're noticing those little sparks that comes out, those good times, those compliments, those little good days you have, later when you acknowledge those things, later it will become much bigger. And you'll be surprised and you'll be shocked, like, oh my gosh, like I didn't expect this. So I always tell people, don't force anything, just flow with it. Just flow and just do as the best as you can each day. Because the more you do that, things will come. And it will take some time, but when it comes unexpected, it's all like shock and all smiles. So that's what I do.
Thank you. And now, next thing on the list here, coloring the imperfections. Okay, what exactly is coloring? Do you literally like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, that kind of color, or is this some other type of color that you're talking about here?
So for this one's a really cool workshop because I have created my own coloring book. And each page, as you'll see, is from drawings and paintings that were scanned from the past to the present. So there's some of these drawings I've drawn since I was like 6, 8, 10 years old. And as a little girl, I've always thought, well, I want my drawings to be out there. I want people to see my work. You know, I've always wanted to be an artist, and here I am, right? But I was like, how am I going to get my drawings out there? They're not even like, you know, great for people to purchase, right? But I was like, you know what? No, let's make a coloring book out of it. So I scanned it black and white, and a lot of the images are very like imperfect. They're blurry lines and everything. And you know what? This is a great way to teach others on how I taught myself through my work on how to accept their imperfections by accepting the imperfection images onto the coloring book. So while they're doing the coloring on the coloring book, I'll do a speech about how to accept those imperfections and, you know, how to go through this process of accepting it. And I always tell them, like, you see this imperfect image, how can you make it work? How can you make it beautiful in its own unique way? Kids love it. They are amazed by it. They love the idea about it. And it's great to teach kids about imperfection because I've noticed that a lot of them know about perfection, but they don't know what the word is, imperfection. So it's really shocking to me because it's like, whoa, well, kids are just, they're imperfectly amazing just themselves, but teaching them perfection is always so harsh, you know, for little ones. They deserve to be free and be themselves and not have to worry about anything.
Thank you. We're expanding on that. Next one down the list, going with the imperfect flow. And that sounds something that's easier said than done, because when you're trying to go with the flow, you're trying to go with the presumption that everything will work out pretty perfectly. If you're going to go with the flow, you expect things to, even though it may not be smooth, it's supposed to be more perfect than imperfect if you're going with the flow. But you're actually saying, no, go with the imperfect flow. Don't try to think that the flow will be perfect. So how exactly does one go with the flow in an imperfect style?
Well, you know, life is so unexpected, you know, expecting. And it's like, you don't know how life is going to be the next day, the day after, and everything. And I always tell people, you know, just flow with it. If you have any challenges, if you have anybody, you know, giving you problems, or you're just not having a good day, just flow with it. Don't react negatively to it. Just work with it. And just, you know, use your breathing techniques to calm yourself down, lower your stress, because you don't want to use that negative energy. Don't waste that. Don't, you know, let that out. And it's a workshop where people use watercolor painting, and watercolor is very nice because it teaches us to just flow with it. If it correlates to each other with the colors, don't worry about it. Let it mix together. Actually, this is one of the paintings too right here that I did. It's just abstract landscape, very simple, very relaxing, therapeutic. And it's a way to teach people that, you know, just flow with it and don't judge yourself. Don't change anything about it, because life, it teaches us that we just have to flow with the challenges. And when we do that, good things will come through.
Okay, since you mentioned that, I'm just going to skip the next one on the list and go to the one after that, and I'll get back to the one, body love awareness, before we get to body love awareness, though, since you showed the picture of our work there. Let's talk about expressing your nationality through art, not just your nationality, but your well, whatever you're feeling at the moment. First of all,
Excuse me. Sorry.
Height. What can't help but ask you, what is art? I seem to recall this time in high school art and music class where the teacher asked us to get in groups and find out, to try to define what art is, and to our shock, well, was it shocking or was it not shocking? I don't know, but we couldn't. We discovered just how hard it actually is to come up with a definition for the word art. So, as someone who seems to make a living out of it, if I were to force you to come up with a definition for the word art, do you have a definition?
Well, I have my own definition of art. I think art could be anything out here. It can really, I feel like each person will have a different definition of art based on their experience, based on what they've done in their life as an artist. For me, what I see what art is for me is a way to express yourself in a visual way, to let go of any tension from yourself, and also a way just to get art is a way to get your creativity, your imagination out into a piece of art that can be something like alive to you, you know? Because sometimes we have things in our mind and we just want to put it on the canvas just to see it come to life. And that's what I do with my paintings, and just see things come to life from my imaginary mind to a painting. And I also see art as a way of therapeutic. It's a way of expression, a way to use it as a tool to express yourself in such an imperfect, abstract way. Now, art can be different forms, can be sculptures, can be paintings, can be drawings, can be anything. Art is so limitless, like you can't even say what art is in just one sentence. It could be so many things. And it all depends the person, you know, what they think of art is to them. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me.
So what it is to them? Okay, cool. That's a good definition. I think what it is. Oh, I think I lost you. Yeah, hello, you there? I lost you for a second.
That's okay.
All right, let me make sure the recorder's still going. Yeah, it is. What? Taking? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You took your headphones off.
Yeah, because it disconnected.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm still connected here, so make sure everything's going. The recorder and all. Yeah, they're still going. Okay. Now I'd like to get to the workshop on body love awareness. Now, this resonates with me a little bit, actually quite a lot, because I am overweight and I seem to enjoy being fat. I tell people I like being fat. Some people say, well, you're not fat. Well, I don't know. I guess am I fat or not? I mean, it's hard to see me because you can't really see below my body, but at 5'10.5", 265 pounds, yeah, that's that's overweight. I can't deny it. And also, I'm not going to show it to everybody here, but I do actually have a enlarged right breast, gynecomastia, which came from, not exactly sure where it came from, but I have reason to believe it came from a medication that my parents forced me to take against my will when I was transitioning from middle to high school. They thought I was going through a period of depression, so they forced me to take that medication, and made my right breast larger than my left one. I'm not going to show it, but it doesn't really bother me, though. In fact, I can seem to make a bit of a joke out of it sometimes. And some would say that's body love awareness, being able, if you're fat and you're happy about it, that's really something to enjoy. And being able to make a joke out of the fact that one of my breasts is bigger than the other. I got man boobs, as they say. Okay, so that's something worth joking and being loving about. So you saying I'm going about it the right way, and or well, then again, there are people who are going to say, okay, fine, enjoy being fat and all that, but how much longer can you take? Can your body take it? I mean, I like to eat, but can I keep eating like Garfield the cat for much longer? Because I'm going to be 37 soon, and that's at an age where some say you won't be able to eat like a pig anymore, and your body won't be able to handle it. So, are you, as someone who presses body love awareness, are you going to say, well, yeah, you can love who you are, but that doesn't mean that it's in your best interest to just be reckless about your eating habits to the point where you're basically asking to get a stroke or a heart attack from all the garbage that you're eating. I'm not that I eat garbage, I don't, but I do eat a lot of good stuff to the point where it keeps me overweight rather than losing weight. And there are those that will insist that how can you possibly love your body when you're basically setting your body up for failure? It seems so counterintuitive, and it's not a healthy way towards life. Well, who are you to tell me that? I say, well, all right, you got what I'm trying to get here. So how do you learn to love your body more if you have some people don't like their bodies? So how do you teach those people to love their body more if they don't love it for whatever the reason? And those that love their body when they're unhealthy, that's Not very healthy, is it, to love your body when you're unhealthy, or is it? So do you agree to disagree with that?
Yeah, well, you point out a lot of important information, because in your situation, I don't hear it often. Some people who are big, they don't want to be big, they don't like, but you seem like you appreciate it and you don't mind it, you're okay with it. But I also do feel like our minds and body could be disconnected or connected. And it's important for our mind and body to be connected with each other, to know, okay, what is my body saying to myself? So a lot of the things that I talk about body love awareness, it's a lot about understanding what is your body telling you, what does your body need, from this connection. It's a lot of gaining self-awareness. And if you're eating, not healthy and stuff, like I'm a sweet tooth too. So I like sometimes that, but also you got to rethink to yourself, like, is this what should I do? Should I do this for me? Should I eat this way or something like that? There's nothing wrong in being big. I feel like there's people out there, they can't help that they're big. They're just that way. That's just how their body is formed. And honestly, that's really a lot of people out there. They're different body image. And we have to really understand that there's a variety of body image out there. For me, I struggle on my weight. I've been underweight my whole life. I've been called a stick. I've been called like a twig. I've been called anorexic because they don't think I really eat. I do eat a lot. It's just my metabolism is super fast that, it just doesn't seem to stay. So I struggle on gaining weight and trying to gain and keep that weight up. I try to work out to gain muscle weight, but it's a whole process. And I had to teach myself to love myself even if I'm this size. And sometimes we tend to not like ourselves because we're constantly reminded that we need to be this way, we need to be that way, we need to have this body image and everything like that. So my main whole point here is really telling a person, if you love yourself, what do you believe that your body needs? What is your body telling that they need? What is your mind and body connected? Do you have any self-awareness of knowing what's good for you and your body? And that's really what body love awareness is about. It's giving you that body love awareness and showing that you are respecting yourself and your body and your mind too. So really all that
Yes,
together.
body and mind. Yeah, that's body, mind, spirit, body, mind, soul. Definitely want to get them all enhanced. All right, at this point, I guess this point in the interview, everything prior to this is free for everybody, but everything onward will be pay-per-view. Please consider subscribing on Patreon to be able to listen to my shows in their entirety, folks. This show onward at this point will be pay-per-view. Subscribe on Patreon to listen to it. So